We were reporting that despite inflation coming down, President Joe Biden's polling numbers were not reaping the rewards. Well, it seems now that may be changing, and the voting public could be coming around to the economy, showing signs of growth. Rick Newman has the very latest. Rick.
Hey, guys. I still can't get over Akiko climbing into that tiny little fusion chamber. That made me feel a little bit dizzy, but at any rate, I'm going to move on. So deep in the weeds of the University of Michigan Consumer Confidence Survey are these questions about what consumers think the inflation rate is going to be a year from now. And in the latest one that just came out, people said the median expectation was an inflation rate of 2.9% 1 year from now. Guess what the expectation was when Joe Biden came into office in January of 21? They expected an inflation rate of 3%. So the expectation now is basically the same or even a little bit lower than when Biden came into office. And boy, does Biden wish he could go back to the days about 3 years ago when nobody was at all concerned about inflation, because that has turned out to be his biggest problem. So, Biden and everybody following the campaign are looking for, we're reading the entrails here to try to, get every insight into where this election might be headed. And we're seeing very small signs that things are tilting a little bit in Biden's favor. His standing is improving a little bit in polls. Where they ask, do you approve Joe Biden? Would you vote for Joe Biden or for Donald Trump? He's doing a little bit better there. And we've been waiting all throughout the economy, basically, for inflation fever to break. And it does seem like it is breaking slowly. But this is the right trend for Biden, because he's got 7 months for people to start to believe inflation is really behind us. And the economy actually is in pretty good shape. If that holds, that's good for Biden, but there are all kinds of other factors, as we will be discussing during the next 7 months. So not any definitive outcomes here yet.
Rick, you mentioned some of the improvements, right? Some of the gains that we've seen for Biden. How much of that is tied to the economy, though?
That's a great question. So the old adage that goes back to the 1902 presidential campaign, it's the economy, stupid. That was Bill Clinton's campaign mantra, just focus on the economy. Political analysts think the economy matters a little bit less these days. And I think that it probably matters even less when the economy is pretty good and people are not unhappy about unemployment or other things. However, if the economy used to be 80% of what people voted on, maybe it's now 70%. We know another big issue for some voters this time around is what's happening with migration and immigration at the border, all these migrants coming across. Biden scores very poorly on that. Trump does better. People are, abortion rights, reproductive rights. That's another issue that might get more prominence than usual. And of course, Donald Trump himself is an outlier of a factor. So the economy still matters a lot, maybe just not quite as much as it used to.
Yeah, we'll find out more and more over the next several months. Rick Newman, thanks so much for that.
Bye, guys.